Hi there, welcome to the Jacque video podcast. Today we're talking with Jacque Harper, who's our head of UX, and we're talking about a really interesting problem, the idea of the accidentally hidden control. Have you done something that has hidden a favorite something from your users? And it can be a big problem.
I like that, the accidental hidden control.
I was trying to give credit to the people there. No one tries to do this kind
That's right. What I want to show you here is an example of something that it's a control that's hidden when a certain element on the screen isn't being shown, and it causes a problem with, actually it's a problem that I experience. We've got a tool in which we track our work, and one of the things you have to do on this tool is to add a subtask to something. So here's the interface to add a subtask. I simply come here, there's a plus button, I click on it, and a subtask is added. I can type it in, save that subtask. Beautiful. And when I create a story which these subtasks are going to be attached to, I'll add 5, 6 tasks to the story. The problem comes when I'm working with a brand new story and there aren't any tasks on it. So here's the interface as it's just created. Now, where is that plus button? It's not here. I don't see it. I can't find it. I have to go to this menu up in the upper corner, pull down on that menu, find the thing that says Create Subtask, and now my subtask appears. I can type in the name, I can save it, and once it's saved, now it appears and the plus button that's associated with it appears. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that until there is a subtask, it's very hard to create one. I have to go find that menu item, and create it. It's a good intention, right?
Right. So we know they didn't try to hide.
Yeah, they didn't try.
These guys aren't jerks. So how does that happen? And then how do you go about a process to make it so that you don't end up with this kind of situation?
Sure. So it's a kind of an honest, good intention, decluttering the screen for elements that aren't there. But because they've taken away the control to add them as well, it just means I have to do that extra step to find it. Doesn't seem like a big step, but do it many times and it becomes annoying. How do we avoid that? Always test with users. Find out what their needs are. If you bring a user into your usability study lab or even just look over their shoulder while they're using your product, you would see after a couple times that people are going, where is that button? Where is that plus button? I want to add a subtask. And it doesn't take a lot of users to do this. You don't have to have statistical accuracy that says 86.2% of our users have this problem. You merely have to find out that a couple of them do and say, is this a big problem? Are there other bigger problems? Or whatever the decision process might be, and then fix that problem. Then you can go on to find other problems later.
Yeah, and that's a really important point about research, that you don't have to do a big focus group. You don't have to go recruit users from all over the country or over the globe. If you had I've heard Jacque say a sweet spot number of 5, they're going to tell you many of the same problems. And thinking about yourself as you aren't the user, your users are the users. It's kind of a funny way to say that, but people who don't have the same context that you do, I'm sure these developers looked at this and said, oh, well, we know once we get past this, we'll get the plus button. Well, no one else knows that, and it took us a few tries, and we're sorry to throw them under the bus, but that was the one that came into play for us in real life.
Yeah, and Mike, I'm glad you said that about my mantra, I am not the user. So when I'm working on a project and I'm doing the user experience for it, I have to tell myself over and over, I am not the user. I may think I know a lot about how users are going to use this product, but ultimately, I'm not the user. And we have to get in front of actual users in their real environment to see how are they going to use this thing. We might use it over and over throughout a day, but they're going to use it maybe once a day to do one thing, and then they have other work to do, not being in your interface.
Well, great. So we hope this little conversation can impact you and the products you make and make them a little better, a little bit smarter, more tailored for the users interacting with them. And we hope you come back to the Jacque video podcast for more tips and ideas on how to make better digital products.